Welcome to our weekly maritime vlog. I'm Corey Ransom with International Maritime Security Associates. We have Bennett, #1 producer behind the camera, Mr. B, my dog, laying on the floor, fast asleep to make sure everything goes well here. This week, we're going to talk about BIMCO's updated cybersecurity guidelines. In 2018, we talked a lot about cybersecurity, and as we said in our first vlog of this year, cybersecurity, IT, and OT are going to be topics that we will be covering a lot here in 2019 and beyond. Ships are becoming more connected. There's more technology to help seafarers do what they do. There's more pieces that are connecting. So we have the OT, which is the operational technology, and the IT, which is the integrated technology. So in simple form, OT is the operational technology, the equipment and the technology that you use on a day in and day out basis that helps you with your job. So ECDIS and navigation systems, the digital bridge, that is OT. The backside of that, the integrated technology, is all of the cyber pieces, your onboard networks, all of the technology that connects that operational technology to be able to operate. But the IT is also the infrastructure that connects into your vessel's communication system, whether you're operating on satellite or a 4G network or Wi-Fi or a connected network. That IT is that connection point between the OT and the outside world. So as we've seen, there has been a number of stories of issues with cybersecurity, whether you're talking about onboard ships or with shoreside facilities. So in the latter part of 2018, BIMCO came out with some updated guidance when it comes to cybersecurity. So we just took a quick look at this, thought that we would review some of this. And again, this is going to be a topic that we're going to talk about quite a bit. There's a couple of people and partner companies that we work with that we're going to be doing interviews on for the future. So it's pretty exciting as this topic really starts to mature more and more on a day in and day out basis. And there's a lot of really good articles out there when it comes to cybersecurity and the protection of network and IT infrastructure, but also the protection of the operational technology, the OT, and that infrastructure. And it really involves a lot of work and training by shipboard personnel, the seafarers, and a connection to the shoreside. So we're just going to go through some of these items on here and just talk about them briefly. This isn't meant to be kind of an all-encompassing overview. There is a lot in this document, and we'll make sure that we have links to the BIMCO document. It's a really good one. There's a couple other documents out there that have been put forward that are fairly good as well. A lot of this, as you start to look at it, is really common sense if you work in the IT industry. So the purpose of this is to really get seafarers and ship owners and ship operators to kind of start to think about what do we need to do to protect our networks, because the more we connect into our networks, the more we connect into OT, the more of a chance of an issue pushing forward. Now, there's always a lot of discussion about, well, I can hack into your vessel and I can control it and drive it into the rocks. Seafarers do a really good job of understanding where they are and what's going on and recognizing anomalies. So it's really difficult and in some cases almost impossible to be able to do that, because seafarers can take control of a vessel and can navigate it safely even outside of an IT network. So some of this stuff we're really talking about is corrupted files getting into your digital bridge and navigation system, corrupted files getting into your ECDIS, or even corrupted files getting into your network, which could result in a number of other issues, as we saw that happened in 2017 and different things in 2018. So we're really not too worried about someone gaining control of a ship, but we are worried about people gaining control of network and infrastructure and being able to cause probably a lot more damage than if they did gain control of the ship. So some of the guidance with this puts forward for ship operators and ship owners and the crew members to really look at a number of issues. So the security services providers, that vessel operators and owners and managers should really have a minimum set of requirements to kind of help manage that whole overall system. So just like a lot of organizations do on the shore side, when you look at healthcare and financial, a lot of those organizations have minimum guidelines and requirements for contractors and subcontractors that want to connect into or have to connect into their networks, that there's minimum security requirements. And again, with healthcare and with financial and around the world, these these requirements are all over the map, but there are some really good kind of industry best practices when it comes to that. One of the things that this document really pointed out was a combined defense is what's needed. And we look at that whether we're looking at overall risk to the vessel when you're trying to prevent theft or piracy. You want to have a multi-layered defense, and the same is true when it comes to the IT and OT security for your ship. So the first thing that you look at is what's the physical security for my ship, and this gets along with vessels that are or have a requirement for a ship security plan, whether it's internationally through the ISPS in your flag state or domestically in the United States through the MTSA. So those are issues that you want to look at, is how does my security plan also include the IT and network infrastructure and the OT that is connecting. That needs to be a part of the plan. And the IMO has come out a number of times to say there's going to be no major updates, at least in the near future, that are going to be made to the ISPS codes to make changes for cybersecurity, because they believe that the codes as existing really will cover all security issues, including IT security. So again, you want to take a look at what is your ISPS plan and how is your physical protection as part of that. You want to include, as part of your IT and security plan, network segmentation. That's extremely important. Who uses what network and how the networks are connected. And we always recommend to our clients that when you have a segmented network on board your vessel, even shoreside facility, you want to make sure that there's no way to get between those networks, because it really defeats the purpose of having a segmented network. You want to look at how your IT and network infrastructure is set up on board. So what type of intrusion detection do you have to be able to make sure that people aren't able to physically get to the location of where your networks are? You want to have vulnerability scanning and testing. And that was a really interesting part of this. That's just part of kind of how you do what you do. And there's some really cool tools that you can get to help you continue to monitor and scan your networks through our partnership with a great company here at IMSA called Resolvin. We're going to be working on pushing some of these capabilities forward as part of the ARMS platform, so you're definitely going to hear more about that. But it's really interesting to see how this is becoming a big part of it through the integration and improvement of satellite technology. You want to have a way to whitelist software so that you know from certain vendors their software has been tested and is whitelisted, and you're able to use that software on your network. You also want to look at who you give access to on the network, whether it's shoreside or ship side. And as part of that, what's your removal media policy? So can people just plug thumb drives right into the Ectis computer to make updates and changes, or is there policies and procedures to be able to do that? The people part of this is extremely important. We always look at, you can have the greatest firewalls, you can have the greatest scanning systems, you can have all of these different pieces that are part of your cybersecurity network, but the people that use that network and that are a part of it have to be a big piece of that. So training of personnel has to be constant, has to be ongoing, and you have to continue to really push forward to let your people know the different types of threats and vulnerabilities within your system, and be able to keep pushing forward to do that. Now, to be able to help push forward, the BIMCO guidelines have put out new guidelines really focusing on 3 key areas. So it's safety management system, the OT risks, or the operational technology risks, and potential supply chain dangers. So as we look at on cargo vessels, there's more pieces that are connecting into our IT networks when it comes to smart containers, and even when we get into semi-autonomous and eventually autonomous shipping, there's going to be a lot of pieces and parts that are going to connect into the vessel's network. So it's really important as we look at that, what are the risks and how do we mitigate that? There is a lot to this report. We've just pulled some of the highlights out to kind of give you guys an idea. We'll make sure we have a link to the report down below. But there's a lot of good ideas and there's a lot of good issues that are brought forward on this report to hopefully help you guys to start to think about how you can protect your onboard OT and IT networks. Hey, thanks for joining us today. Hope you enjoyed our discussion on the new BIMCO cybersecurity guidelines. Like I said in the vlog, there'll be a link down below to that so you can click through, get more information, and download the document. Make sure you subscribe to this channel if you like the content we're putting out, and if you don't, reach out to us, connect to us through our social media. Join the conversation. It's detailed in the banner above and the comments section below. We want to hear the topics and the conversations and the things that you guys want us to cover. Make sure you punch that like button for all the videos that you enjoy watching on this channel so we know what content you guys like. If you have questions when it comes to maritime security, regulatory compliance, or maritime risk management, don't ever hesitate to reach out to our experts here at IMSA, because we're always happy to steer you in the right direction.